I said, are you ready for our next comedian tonight? Ladies and gentlemen, Horton Douglas.
Oh, thank you so much. It's good to be here. Great to have families together, little kids. Anybody under 10? Where are you? Little kids, let me hear you. 3 of you, great. Okay. I love it. Little kids, because we have 19 kids, and we have 11 in the house right now, and it's fun because each kid laughs a little different. Like my little 5-year-old, she's missing her 2 front teeth because we were wrestling on the floor, and she hit a coffee table, but I won. And but now when she laughs, she goes. I got a little teenage daughter. She's so hyper. She doesn't want to laugh. She tries to keep it in, but she sounds like a coffee pot. She's like, and then my 14-year-old boy, when he laughs, and if he's eating lunch, he sounds like a machine gun. He just sprays everything. And they laugh different. They laugh at different stuff. I mean, little kids, 6, 7, 8 years old. I was doing a program last week, and right in the middle of the program, a little boy comes up, and he's just standing at the foot of the stage, looking up at me with those big eyes. And I tried to ignore him. I was waiting for the mother to come, and finally, after about 10 minutes, he's still standing there. So I said, can I help you? He said, could I tell a joke? Now, what are you supposed to do? So I brought him up, and I gave him the microphone. And he said, do you know why gorillas got such big noses? I said, no, why do gorillas got such big noses? He said, because they got such big fingers. Little kids doing booger jokes. I'm a Christian comedian. I go to churches. I can't do booger jokes. Okay, I got one. Do you know the difference between boogers and broccoli? Then I'm not coming to your house for dinner. So that's a booger joke. And then teenagers, we got a whole row of great teens over here, teenagers in the crowd. Teenagers are very different. I speak at a lot of schools, a lot of Christian schools and chapels, and teenagers love sarcasm. And I admire teens because school is so much harder now. And I just finished a book. And it's a short book. It's called The Book of Morals by Paris Hilton. It's a really thin book. It's 2 pages longer to the book called Things I Love About My Husband by Hillary Clinton. That's sarcasm. That's sarcasm. Kids like sarcasm. They love gross stuff. And not only do we have 19 children, we just added 2 more to our family. My 2 little girls got cats. Any cat people in the crowd? Look at them all. Cat people are wonderful. They're kind. They're patient. They're cuddly. I love cat people. Hate cats. Just let me say this, they're nowhere mentioned in the Bible. That's all I'm saying. People come to our house now, they say the stupidest things. They come to into the house and they see the litter box, and the first thing they say is, oh, do you have a cat? I'm like, no, I'm just lazy. It's weird stuff. We picked up these cats at the shelter, and they didn't have names. I said to the director, what do we name them? They said, well, just watch them a few days. Every cat has personality. You just watch them, and their behavior will show itself. You'll know what to call them. After 3 days, I named them Chuck. Up Chuck. And I said, these cats throw up more than Mary Kate and Ashley. I mean, they are just... Oh, yeah, you give a whole new meaning to Full House, I'm telling you. There's cat stuff, and I love teens, but I hate it when I was a teen. You teenagers, your parents ever say these are the happiest days of your life? Yeah, that is a lie. I hated skies. I mean, for a lot of reasons. First, I wasn't a very good student. Anybody out there ever get a D or F on your report card? Remember, you are in church. Yes. Yeah, 7, we're real proud. That was great. That was it. Yeah, I got so many D's and F's, I tried to convince my parents it was part of a new grading system. Yeah, D and F meant doing fine, doing fine. Yeah, my dad was always on me to study hard, work hard. One day I went up in the attic, saw a box of trophies he had won, and inside was his yearbook. I wanted to see what he looked like in high school, so I'm turning the page. I found in the yearbook one of my dad's report cards. I looked and thought, oh, is that going to come in handy? Yeah, a couple of weeks went by, report cards came and said, Gordon, get in the kitchen. Look at this. You fell down in English. You can't get lower in math. No TV for you, young man, until these grades go up. And I just smiled. He said, what are you laughing at, boy? I said, Dad, look at this. I got the same thing you got when you were in 8th grade. And I thought I had him without missing a beat. He looked at me and said, you're right, son. And I'm going to give you the same thing my father gave me. Yeah, I grew up in the days before Ritalin. Yeah. Yeah, my dad, there was no timeout. It was knockout. Yeah, timeout to my dad was how long you were unconscious. That's what timeout was. It was tough being in high school. And I just had my 30th high school reunion. Now, Mike's joking, but I did weigh 127 when I graduated high school. I have gained 47 pounds since then. Yeah, I was the poster boy for world famine in 1973. I mean, people tell me all the time, you're so skinny, you turn sideways, stick out your tongue, you look like a zipper. What does that mean? I mean, you know you're skinny when your pajamas only have one stripe. If your wife blows in your ear and you fly across the room, I'm talking skinny. I mean, how many people do you know have to keep wallets in both pockets just so people think you have a hiney? I mean, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Oh, this is true. This is true. I heard somebody say earlier their favorite audience for women and children. They are great, but I'll tell you what, my favorite audience, grandparents. Any grandparents? God bless the God. You guys raise your hands down here. Nobody cheers. Good. That's good. Grandparents are great. They have more reason to complain than anybody, but they are cheerful. They support churches. They're wonderful. I do a lot of shows for senior citizens. I have something called Operation Belly Laughs, where we send comedy tapes and videos to the troops. We've now done over 5,000 packages in 8 countries. And the seniors are the most supportive of that. Praise God. And I go around once or twice a week. I do these programs for senior citizens. Last week I was at this group. The audience looked like a box of Q-tips. Yeah, the guy who paid me, his social security number was 6. It was an old group. And after the program, this little lady came up to me. She's got an angry scowl on her face, mustache bigger than me. She says, Gordon, I want to talk to you. I'm upset. And I said, well, was there a joke that offended you? What did I say? She says, well, you know that two-wallet joke? Two-wallet joke? I thought, she's upset because I used the word hiney in church. She never said a word. She shook her head, then went like this. It ain't working. Grandma was checking me out. Now, there are times when you wish you were not in the ministry because you cannot always say what you're thinking. Because I'm smiling saying, God bless you, but I'm thinking, how many wallets do you have? Put some money in the bank, will you? I mean, she gave a whole new meaning to the word inflation. I am telling you. And it's tough when you're this thin. You can't date when you're this thin. I took a girl to the movies once. I wanted to hold her hand. I couldn't do it. Because when you're this skinny, it takes all you got to get that seat to stay down. Oh, I struggled for half the movie. I said, I'm going for it. I reached him. She looked over. All she saw was ankles and elbows. Oh, it's hard. I talk to teenagers all the time. I ask them who invented sex. It is not somebody named Victoria who can't keep a secret. God invented sex. It's a gift. It's good. It's wonderful. And I love to talk to them about guidelines and boundaries that keep us safe and make it better. And in fact, I grew up, I'm old enough to remember when thongs were on your feet, not your fanny, right? And maybe it's just me, but parts of your body should not be flossed. That's all I'm saying. That's all. We need to be careful. We need to be careful. I've got 2 teenage daughters. I want to make sure they understand. I see these bathing suits. There's more material on the top of an aspirin bottle. I'm telling you, it's disgusting. Oh, man. And here I am. I'm trying to date. I finally got a date. I'm going to go to the prom. Well, I'm a Baptist, and you guys are fun Baptists. I'm a serious Baptist from up north. I mean, we put lemon juice in the communion cup so nobody smiles in church. And I saw the praise band up here. I mean, you guys were jamming. That's too close to dancing for us. We don't even say the D word. I'm going to my prom, though. It's my first date. I'm a Baptist going to a dance. The only thing I learned in dancing, I had learned in 6th grade. We all learned how to square dance. You do that down in Florida? I had learned the box step, where you go up and over and back and forth. Up and over. I did this all night long. My date, she stayed at the table. But no, I wanted to dance. I wanted to have some fun. I go to the dance. I'm looking at the people on the dance floor. I thought they were having seizures. When I saw them, I recognized I had invented a dance. Have you ever seen this? Oh, sure you have. You ever get in a bathtub and it's really, really hot? You turn on the cold water and go, whoa! And then the other day, I'm watching my wife. We have one of those alarms where it buzzes and then the music comes on. And my wife was getting dressed while the music was playing. A woman putting on pantyhose to music is a dance. That is tough. And I wanted to have a good time at my prom. I go home to my parents. Mom, guess what? I got a date to the prom. I need a tux. I'll make you a tux. Now, you know there's a difference between poor and cheap. Right? My dad was in a wheelchair most of my life, so he was out of work. That meant we were poor. I have a real sensitivity to the physically disabled because of what my dad went through. He was out of work, so I had to depend on hand-me-downs for clothes. Anybody else have to do that? Right? Isn't that tough when you got an older sister? There are things in my closet I'm still not sure what I'm supposed to do with. But I did have the only double-barrel slingshot in high school, though. Okay, explain that to the Presbyterians that are... Yeah, that's poor. That's poor when you don't have any money, but there's cheap. I mean, my dad's name, Gordon Douglas, we're thrifty. I mean, my dad told us when the ice cream man was coming, if they're ringing the bell, it means they're out of ice cream. That's cheap. That is cheap. So we go through, now I'm a dad, I can't even believe that. I've been married 27 years. My wife says being married to me is like being on a vacation. No. Her actual words was I was her last resort. But we got married and we were told we're not going to have children. And I was in youth ministry, so we took in 3 boys from a troubled home, and then 3 more, and then 3 more, then 3 more, then 3 more, then 3 girls, 2 prisoners under an in-house arrest program. My father-in-law moved in 1984 after a stroke and brought his son Chucky, who has Down syndrome. Chucky and Charlie. And I tell people, if you want to know what God's unconditional love is like, you need to know somebody with Down syndrome. Doesn't care what color your skin is, how big your car is, how much money you make. Chucky was the greeter in our church. You couldn't get in our church without him saying, Jesus loves you, God bless you. I learned more from him than I did in 14 years of Bible school about God's love. Yeah. It was a 4-year program. It just took me 14 years to get through. But we had the 14 boys and the 3 girls and the 2 prisoners and my father-in-law and my mother-in-law and my son-in-law. And then all of a sudden, God blessed us with 5 kids of our own. And, we had 4 before the doctors told me what was causing it. It was oh, it's fun. And we have fun at our house. Like when we have company, we line everybody up and you have to guess which ones are the convicts. And you know what's interesting? You cover up that ankle bracelet, people can't tell. We're here tonight to remind you of God's love and grace and for each other, and finding that love and being able to laugh is one of the best things in the world. So thank you for letting me share these few minutes with you. Have a great night.